Well, John Skip Kernan, St. Clair Township Highway Commissioner. The question was posed, why the need for 5 employees instead of 4? The answer is quite simple. For starters, for 36 years prior to the person that was in the position before myself, there was always 5 to 6 full-time employees. So for the last 36 years, history, not me, history predicted that they had that many people in place. Once I came on board, there was only 3 employees, and that's because the previous highway commissioner had 6, but decided to cut the workforce in half down to 3. However, the part that everybody fails to communicate is that then he went out and hired outside contractors to do the exact same work that the employees were doing. Well, when you put the numbers together, it is cheaper to have the employee on board than it is to pay prevailing wage to an outside contractor. Besides that, you lose the personal touch. A resident gets used to seeing the guys out doing what they do, and the guys know the area, they know the equipment, everything else. The person that was in the position before me spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, into the millions quite frankly, with outside contractors. When I went out and campaigned for this position, it was my promise to the voters that, hey, a vote for me will allow me to restore the services that you were used to. So quite frankly, having 5 full-time employees really isn't enough, to be honest with you. There should be more than that. However, being in charge of the taxpayers' money, I believe that we can get by with only 5 full-time employees doing the job. The other part of it is what a lot of people don't realize is we currently in St. Clair Township have over 60 miles of road to maintain. And with that, it's all spread out. It touches some of Shiloh, some of Fairview, some of Belleville, some of O'Fallon, in that whole mixture there. So as we speak, we need $139 million to keep our roads, get the bad roads up to speed. Unfortunately, my office only gets $1.5 million a year. So with that, there isn't enough money in my lifetime that's going to be able to get the streets that currently need to be repaired. So the whole part of it is being proactive rather than reactive. So if I can put a Band-Aid on a street and make that street last another 5 years, 10 years, it's much more efficient, and especially for the taxpayers, it's going to save them money. The other question that came up was, hey, there's some hostility between board members and my department. And that answer is yes. Unfortunately, that's correct. They have their belief, right, wrong, or indifferent. Needless to say, I believe they're wrong. But we do work together, or we at least attempt to work together the best we possibly can. And quite frankly, it's just a difference of opinion. I've been trying to explain to them what's always happened around here and the benefit of having 5 full-time compared to them cutting that workforce in half, like I said, but then spending hundreds of thousands with contractors. It just doesn't make any sense at all. So hopefully we're working on some things now. Hopefully they'll change their mind and realize that we do need 5, because it doesn't benefit me in the least bit. What do I have to gain and or lose by having 5 employees or 4 employees or 3 employees? It's the taxpayers that have everything to gain. So when you have those people, you get that personal touch, you get a lot more done than what they realize. So hopefully we'll come to a mutual agreement, and they'll realize that we do have to have 5 full-time employees. And the other misconception out there is they said at that meeting a couple of weeks ago that they gave me enough money in my budget for 4 full-time employees. However, when you do the math, it only works out to 3.5 employees, and that was brought to their attention, and they said, oh well, he'll have to deal with it. Well, no, that's not the case. It's not me dealing with it. It's the taxpayers, and that's what I ran for office for, and I believe that's what they ran for office for. We have to take care of the taxpayer. That's what matters. Thank you.